Hello and welcome to the Marketing Ping Pong podcast. My name is Allie.
And my name is Duncan.
And we are here today to start a pretend business just so that we can have fun figuring out what we would do in just some random business. Duncan's picking the business today. I have no idea what it is. For those of you that are new here, the whole point of this podcast is it's a thought experiment, right? If I owned XYZ business, how would I market it? And Duncan and I we've had a bunch of conversations before we started this podcast that oh yeah, we could do this kind of business and this is what we would do and this is how we would do it. And both of us in our free time create these entire universes around businesses that we imagine starting. And we thought there'd be a lot of value to actually recording these conversations and having these conversations out loud, because there's a lot that you can learn about marketing and strategy, and really how to think outside the box on a business that you would normally think, all right, this is how you do this. Part of what we're doing with this podcast is stretching and breaking the box. The box does not exist. We are destroying the box, and looking at what is the possibility. What could you do in a business like this? So no matter what kind of business we're going to talk about on this episode or any of our previous episodes or any of our future episodes, you can always learn something that you can apply to your business. It's going to challenge your thinking. It's going to give you fantastic ideas. It's going to open your mind to the world of possibilities. And what I hope, Duncan, people walk away from this with is that they get excited about marketing the same way that you and I are excited about marketing. Because I think a lot of people think it's boring and dull. And I think it's one of the most exciting things you can do in a business. It's money. It's how you make money. What's more exciting than that? So that's what I really hope people walk away with, is not just the strategies and the ideas, but also a fire in your belly to be like, hey, this could actually be fun.
Yeah, and I think people too, they might think it's boring or they don't really want to handle it, and I've also seen people be nervous about it. They're like, they treat their business like an egg. They're like, we gotta protect this thing. There's only so much you can do with it or else it's gonna crack this shell and egg's gonna go everywhere. We're doing a lot of metaphors this episode already. I like it a lot. And I think the thing that really hit me in the past year is that the rules are all pretty much made up when it comes to marketing. There are things that work, that we know work, and there are core foundational principles that should probably be adhered to, but everything else is kind of made up. And you have the freedom to have fun and be yourself, be personal, and grow your business at the same time. So don't be afraid of marketing. Don't be afraid.
Exactly. Marketing Ping Pong podcast. We bring the fun back into your business and your marketing, or bring it for the first. So many people don't have fun with their business. So many people don't have fun with their marketing, and I want to show them what's possible, and I want to have fun too. So that's what we're going to be doing this episode. Before we jump into that, I do want to just kind of congratulate us and clap and celebrate a little bit. We did just start the Marketing Power Hour membership. So we just did a soft launch. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, I wish that I could ask Allie and Duncan questions, because I know you guys are all dying to ask us questions, right? We're just like the gurus at the top of the mountain, or at least I like to think I am. You don't have to do a pilgrimage to be able to ask questions and to get some insights in your business. We did actually launch this Marketing Power Hour membership. And with that, there are weekly calls, there's training. We're going to have more information coming out about that soon. Right now, we are really open to kind of beta testers. And once we fill that up and we get our systems in place, we will be launching that for everybody. So keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, if you want to be able to ask us questions, if you want to get daily inspiration and ideas for your business, join the Marketing Ping Pong Facebook group. That's where things are happening. Duncan's posting in there all the time. I'm posting in there. We're answering questions. We're encouraging you. We're sharing strategies that we think are really effective. even ads that we've seen from other people, and
Yeah,
say, hey,
and
check
things,
this out.
strategies that not only do we think they're effective, we know they're effective. Like
Yes,
we've
that
seen
they,
them work for
yes.
other businesses. We've seen them work for our businesses, and I think that's really the one of the big differences between us and a lot of other Facebook marketing groups that are out there. There are a lot of them that give generalized information about marketing that you can bang your head against the wall trying to do this thing, but if you don't know how to actually apply it and you don't have actionable tips on how to do it for your specific business, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's what we like to do. We like to dig into the things that actually work and how to actually make them work for you.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that up because I've had a lot of clients over the years come back to me and say, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing coaches and agencies and all of this. And I didn't really still know what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was supposed to do with this information that I was given. And she's like, and you just give a strategy. We had somebody in the Marketing Ping Pong Facebook group. I think I talked about this on a previous episode where, we shared the 9-word email. She went out, did the 9-word email, came back and made $1,700.
Mm.
So it's not theory. Like, yes, we talk about the underlying principles because it is important to know that and nuance matters. But this isn't just like, textbook, okay, you have to do market research or whatever. This is real life strategies that you push a button and you make money. That's how easy I want this marketing to be for people.
Yeah, I love that.
So, with all of that being said, let's just jump into the episode itself. Duncan is picking today, and I have no idea what business he is picking. I don't think Duncan knows what business he is picking.
Ooh, you're
So,
calling me out.
so Duncan, we are going to spend the next hour or so building what kind of business?
You are 100% right. So I had like a thinking time session, a brain dump session of a lot of different business ideas that I thought would be really fun, because that's what we're doing today. We're doing a fun business. And then next time we'll do a boring business. We go back and forth on fun versus boring. And today is a fun one. And on the last episode, or one of the last episodes, I was kind of disappointed in you, Allie, if I'm going to be honest with you. You let me do the heavy lifting of
I
niching
did.
down.
I
And
did.
so I think I basically picked that business. I'm just going to say that right now. I basically picked that one. And that's okay, because today we're going to do the same thing. So
Okay.
I have a fun niche that I would want to work at this kind of business, which there aren't a lot of those. Like, I don't want a job. I'm not a job person. I don't want a boss. I think that's the same for you. We want to own our own businesses, make our own rules, set our own hours, et cetera, et cetera. But I would,
Fundamentally unemployable. Yes.
yes, unemployable. And like, I think that this job really lends itself to that kind of person. Like, you have to be a little bit, you have to have a little bit of, what's the word? Showmanship. We talk about showmanship a lot. You have to have a little bit of your own unique flair, I think, to do this. It takes a little bit of presentation, takes a little bit of wanting to be in front of people and entertain people. So, with that being said, how would you? I'll start with a question. How would you like a random person with a llama to show up at your door?
It would depend on the context, but generally I'd be super excited.
Okay, what if the llama was carrying a birthday gift for you on its back, and
That would be
that
fantastic.
was a birthday present for you? Okay, so the business, the niche that we're going to talk about today, Allie, are grams. Okay, so you got
Uh,
your Santagrams, you got your llamagrams, you got your stripograms, you got all the fun grams.
I think we've
Um,
already determined that the stripogram is the best option
yes, yeah,
for
well, yeah.
previous episodes. But you could take your top off for anything and make that business work.
Marketing is done right there. Episode's done. Ship it. So that's the business we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about grams. I want to be in the gram business. I think that it's really fun, and marketing fun, selling fun is not easy, but it's definitely easier than marketing boring, marketing plain. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna gram some people. What do you got for me?
Well, I can officially say that I have never for a minute even considered opening a gram business.
Okay.
Like it's so far outside of my norm. Is that something people actually do down here? Do people do grams?
Oh yeah.
Because again, small town Ohio, we ain't got grams.
I feel like that's an
I
even
don't
better
think we have
market for this.
Uber. I don't
Yeah.
think we even have Uber yet, let
Well,
alone
they're just to give you some like different variations of this. I've seen a like a happy birthday gram where somebody dresses up as it's like a guy dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, and he goes in and sings happy birthday like Marilyn Monroe did to JFK to the boss, right? So you all
right.
prank the boss and you get him this crazy gram. So I've seen things like that. I've seen, the little girl's birthday party. She's obsessed with ponies, so they do like a mini pony gram for the birthday. It's not really a petting zoo because there's too much kind of involved there, right? Like you'd have to set up a fence and do, just a lot involved. Really, they just like walk the horse in. Horse is wearing a birthday hat. They feed the horse some carrots, and they all take a picture of the horse, and then they leave. It's like an hour, and you make it a really fun, awesome experience for whoever you're gramming. Whatever it is, very short amount of time, but there's a lot of value in that time. So yeah, that's the kind of things I've seen. I've seen people do grams for down here. I know a specific person, a client of mine, friend of mine, who's thought about doing llama grams or alpaca grams because they have the animals and they have a trailer to transport the animals. So that's, yeah. So I have seen it, and it's definitely a business.
Okay. So I've seen it on TV.
Yep.
So I am familiar with the concept. I have never received a gram, nor sent a gram, nor seen anybody else receive or send a gram. So
Send Allie a gram.
so that is the extent of my knowledge. So when you say that I'm picking the niche, are you saying that I need to pick what kind of grams to send?
Yeah, so who are we gramming? What are we gramming them with? I think that's kind of like the niche, right? So there's like pet grams, there's like Santa grams, stripograms.
So right, and what you're gramming them with. So you're saying that are there different? So like the pony is a birthday gram,
Sure.
right?
Hmm.
And then are there what's beyond a birthday gram? Like are there anniversary grams? Like I'm totally coming into this with this much knowledge.
Sure. So use cases. Birthday is probably the biggest one, right? So you can have a birthday gram business, but then I think it would be even better to probably niche down into doing one specific kind of gram, or maybe like
Sure.
animals, like you know what I mean?
Right.
Something that your expertise is kind of central in. But it doesn't have to be animals. That's probably where this is going to go because of how much we like animals. But
I'm
there's a
trying
lot of
not to go that direction because I'm like, that's too easy.
it's too
Um,
easy, but it's our podcast, so
Strippergram and animalgrams are the easiest ones. So I'm
Yes.
trying to like, I'm not going to pick strippergram.
Well,
Um,
there's also the opportunity now to tap into like cultural significance. I feel like you could do something like, like internet culture, like memeograms, where somebody dresses up like a meme and goes to, celebrate a birthday. So that's kind of the common theme that I'm coming
mhm.
back to is like birthdays are probably the best use case for this. But celebrating any kind of special event. You can even have like maybe like hire somebody for your wedding to like do a funny thing for your spouse, for your person that
Mhm.
you're getting married to. There's opportunities there. Any event or special occasion, you can get a gram for somebody.
So there's two directions that I want to see that. One is like, what is the gram? Like we talked about, either animals or strippers.
Okay.
Strippers with animals, like
Oh
that's
man.
just a little too easy. Although I don't mind talking about that because I think both are fantastic. But the as far as marketability,
Hmm.
but I also kind of want to play around with this idea of, okay, birthday grams are the most popular, but I'm thinking about my one of my mentors, Dan Cricks, and how he always sent Thanksgiving cards instead of Christmas cards
Hmm.
because everybody does a card at Christmas and it gets lost.
Hmm.
Not everybody does a Thanksgiving card and you stand out. So I'm wondering if there are other occasions that you could niche down into for specific communities. And since we're business people, I'm thinking like business wise, because you mentioned
Sure.
like somebody showing up at the office of like, and maybe this can't be the gram person's only, like maybe they do birthdays, but maybe packages, right? So we offer packages for other sorts of grams that is something like a promotion
Sure.
gram or
Like a
something like,
business gram. Yeah.
yeah, something that happens at the business, not just for the owner's birthday, but
Mm.
maybe the anniversary of the business or promotion of an employee, or the employee just had a major life event of some sort, or they just closed a big client, to kind of bring the fun into the workplace, that they
Yes.
closed a big client, they had an excellent month, maybe they're employee of the month, and they get the gram and it celebrates them, and it's done in front of the entire company.
Yeah.
And it's not that you got it because it's your birthday, but you got it because you earned it. So
Mm.
you earn the privilege of kind of being embarrassed in front of everybody by
I love
having
that.
a gram of some sort. So that's
You
what
were
I'm,
saying you were
yeah.
saying business grams, and it was it just got the wheels turning a little bit, and it got me thinking about chunky mail and sending coconuts and
As
things
soon
like
as you
that.
said that, I thought chunky mail. This is chunky mail.
Yeah, like what if you
This is the
used it
ultimate.
as like a B2B, like outreach thing where you sent a gram to someone to try and, I don't know, get them as a client.
I love that. I have even heard of I think it was on a Dan Kennedy CD I was listening to.
Mm,
That actually, it was probably a Dan Kennedy cassette that I was listening to. It was
mm,
pretty old, but he was talking about how you can hire celebrities
mm-hmm.
to do tasks and things like C-list, D-list type
Sure.
celebrity. And you find somebody from a TV show that was popular in the 70s
Mm-hmm.
and have them deliver a message, but it's somebody that everybody
Oh,
knows, everybody in that age range knows.
that's so good.
And you send them to deliver your sales message to the client.
That is
So
so good. I love that. There's a service called Memo. There's a bunch of them where you can like just pay for a celebrity to do a video message to somebody, and that's like the easiest, lowest friction version of that ever. I got one. I think I told you, for Mariah, my wife, of Colin Mockery from Whose Line, because that's one of her favorite shows, and it was
I
great. He
love,
did like a 45-second happy birthday message and did like a funny improv thing, and it was like $60. Like you could do the exact same thing if you met a business owner or a potential client and found out they were interested in a show, or this is their favorite thing, and you could do that exact same thing, but on a business level. I love that.
I love that too. And I'm thinking, I wonder, here was my question with that. What's that website called?
Memo, I think.
Memo. So my question with those types of sites is I always wondered if they had limitations that you couldn't have them kind of promoting your business for you because it seems like an endorsement on their half.
Sure.
But we like to play this podcast without rules. So I'm going to pretend like that rule doesn't exist. I'm not saying there is that rule. I just always assumed like, here's why I assumed it. Which is a powerful lesson by itself, because if there is no rule, I assume it's a rule because nobody's using it.
Mm,
I've never seen that happen.
mm,
I've seen the personal ones, and you told me about with Colin Mockery, but I've never seen somebody have Colin Mockery do some sort of pitch about their business or just
yeah.
talk about their business in some way that you could then use in a commercial or as
Man.
a Facebook post or send directly to in the point of grams is to have it done specifically for that person to get in the door to
Mhm.
open the door,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
start that conversation.
That might be a rule. I think that the way around it, right? Like we're always looking for I don't know if you want to call them loopholes, but there's ways around
I
everything.
love loopholes. I love
Right?
loopholes so
It's like
much.
everybody talks about, you don't want to get rich quick scheme. And it's like, what's the quick is the best way to get rich. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you, loopholes, all that stuff. Let's take advantage. So I think
Loopholes
you
have
could,
gotten me in so much trouble because I will technically be in the loophole, and
Mhm.
they're like, "Nope, you broke the rule." I'm like, "No, I'm in the loophole.
Look,
Look."
I'm in the clear. Didn't you read the fine print? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. No,
Been
they
there.
no, no. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
been there. I get in trouble in Facebook groups a lot for that. Like, "Oh, it's not quite where we don't allow that here," and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
But you didn't
Um,
say specifically you don't allow this. So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yep,
that's a lot of what I teach about groups is kind of that loophole, how to promote
hmm
yourself in the group without promoting yourself.
yes,
And some admins are like, I see what you're doing, and others are totally oblivious to it. So I
hmm
just let the one admins kick me out and the other admins allow me to do it. And I'm adding value. It's not like I'm being spammy, but I
sure.
am trying to get attention on me in my business.
Yes,
So
yes, in a way that's not
technically, am I
overtly a
breaking
sale.
the rule? Maybe,
Technically, yeah,
but that's a technicality.
yeah. I feel like the way around it for that specific example, I know we're kind of veering off course here, which is, we're allowed to do whatever
Typical.
we want.
It's our
Is
podcast. We're dictators.
you
We're
can
co-dictators.
yeah, yeah. You can just send that person, that prospect, a personal message from this person. And in the communication of that message, like in the email or however you send it to them, you're like, hey, look, I did this because I know you like this person, but I'm going to be upfront with you. I want to do business with you. And I did this to show you that I actually listen and
Exactly.
I care about who you are as a person, blah, 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 blah. Like transparency, I think works a lot of the time. In a marketing message, it's like the giant while you were out thing and the
Yeah,
coconut. It's like those are overt marketing messages, but done in a way that it grabs somebody's attention and forces them to pay attention to it. And it's like, yes, this is an advertisement, or this is a marketing message. So anyway,
absolutely. Well, and so I want to be clear too. Like we're talking if you're going to use memo,
hmm
but if you just send a gram, I bet the lady with the horse is not like, oh no, we don't endorse local businesses, other local businesses. We have, like standards and rules here. She'd be like, you got 150. I don't know how much does a gram cost?
oh man, that's a great question. Like $60 to $150 an hour or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, not too unreasonable. So
Yeah, yeah. So, if money talks, right? So if you're going to pay me to show up at someplace with my horse or my llama or dressed as Marilyn Monroe, I'm going to say whatever it is you want me to say. So
yes,
I think in that case, you don't even need the celebrity if the rule exists with the celebrities. I mean, you could do both. It's not either or, right? You could do both. But sending somebody as a salesman, as a sales messenger,
hmm
or as a relationship icebreaker, let's call it
yes,
that. That's really ultimately what it is. You want to give the other person a reason to pick up the phone.
yep,
And Dan Kennedy talked a lot about having like a hit list of 100 potential clients. And for B2B, that makes a lot of sense. So
hmm
B2C, that's difficult to do. Oh, I'm going to create a list of 100 customers I want to buy my flowers,
yeah.
right?
Unless you do like a giveaway or something, like you can, but it's still not like a hit list like you would have in B2B. It's like
Right.
a larger
B2B,
customer list.
this is a big client with
Yep,
deep pockets, and you need them to switch from company A to your company,
yep,
right? And you just need to get that conversation. You need to get your foot in the door. So for
hmm
B2B, that's just killer. They have that 100-person hit list, and you just send them coconuts until they call.
yeah.
You send them grams until they call because
Send them a
that
ponygram. Yeah.
right, closing that business could mean huge, could be millions of dollars of profit.
hmm
Would you not be willing to spend $150 on a gram to
Right.
get that person's attention? Like,
It's such a great idea too because like you send that to somebody's office and they're like, oh, they hit the front desk lady who usually filters these people out, and they're like, yeah, I'm here to do a gram for a whatever, a ponygram for the boss, and they're like, oh wow, I didn't realize it
right
was.
past the gatekeeper.
Oh, it's so good. It's like literally a Trojan horse. Like you're
Yes,
walking a horse
it
in the
is.
front door, and it's like that's your sales message. I think that's a great idea.
It is because the
I
gatekeeper, if you go in there in a suit and tie and say, I'd like to have a meeting with Mr. So and so
oh
about switching
kicked
his
out.
XYZ provider, yeah,
Yep.
done. But you've got Marilyn Monroe walking in there or
hmm
a pony or whatever, like they're not going to say, and that's why chunky mail works, right?
hmm
Like there's
hmm
a coconut. I'm not going to throw away this coconut.
Yeah, they're holding it like I can't. Like,
Forward
what do you want me to do with this thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like junk mail. It's
Yep.
confusing. And the gatekeeper isn't going to risk getting in trouble
hmm
by not delivering that thing. And
Yep.
so if somebody just spent money on a gram to send it to that person and she doesn't quite know what that gram is for, she's going to let him through. Otherwise, she could get in trouble for
Yes,
not doing that. I say
correct.
she. That's very sexist. She or he.
They, yeah.
They. There we go. They. They're going to let him through.
I think that that's our niche. Like the more we talk about it, I feel like you could do, if we are the proponents of niching down, right? It's like we tell everybody that's what you need to do. Why don't we just decide now? It's like we are business. We're icebreaker entertainment. Okay, like what we do.
Icebreaker. Icebreaker. I don't like entertainment.
Icebreaker grams. Ice. It's not as good as truck nuts. I can't be a winner every single time. Okay, icebreaker's good though. So icebreaker something or other.
Yeah.
We're going to send grams to inspire business relationships with your prospects, with your 100-person hit list.
We can go national with this.
Yeah, I know.
Because
it's going to be huge, Allie.
it's going to be huge. Okay, so thinking small, you and I are running this business. You and I are doing the grams. Thinking
Sure.
big, there are already people doing grams that are not marketing themselves to the B&B business world. So all we really have to do is book the appointment, have a catalog of people in that area. What do you want? A llama, a horse, Marilyn Monroe, a mermaid, like a
Yep.
stripper? Like choose your
Massive business. Yeah.
your weapon here.
Yep.
And then we just go in and we hire that person, and then we get a commission off that sale.
And
Or we're paying them, you know what I'm saying? Like, well,
we take our cut,
we pay them,
and
right?
we once we build it enough, the people that run these gram businesses, they'll pay us a subscription, a monthly subscription, just to be in our network.
Just be in the
to
catalog.
Yes, it's like a
Yep.
$50 a month to get on our list of business gram, whatevers, and that's an additional revenue stream. Yeah, I think that's going to be our issue every time. We're just going to hit these huge, amazing ideas that could be a national business. We're going to be like, let's scale it immediately.
Okay, so before we scale it,
Yes, okay, bring it back in.
Before we scale it, like because we're supposed to be a local business, right?
Yes.
Local business serving local people. And so in this case, like in our area, local would be Southwest Florida, right? There's enough here that somebody could do a decent business. The biggest challenge is going to be, I love this because the biggest challenge is going to be everybody listening to this has the same big challenge. And that is convincing business owners or showing business owners that they shouldn't be treating their business like a delicate little egg. I love that analogy that you said. Like, that is so true. I see people say, well, I don't want to send any emails out to my list because they don't want to break something, right? Like, I don't send emails because I know people don't like that. I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to be like that. It's like, okay, but then you get zero sales because you're literally not risking anything. And so the biggest challenge is going to be convincing business owners that this is something that will give them positive attention. Because again, how many times I've mentioned to a lot of people, mail a coconut. Everybody's afraid to mail a coconut.
Yeah, they're like, no.
They don't want to look silly. They don't want to feel like they're not being taken seriously. So that is going to be the biggest challenge in running a business like this. Is there would have to be a huge educational component on the front end of it. You have to have massive amount of, not a massive amount, but some really good case studies of here's, Marilyn Monroe went to this particular place and the guy was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did this. Let's have lunch on Tuesday.
Yep.
Right. And this is somebody they've been trying to contact for the last 6 months.
Yep. And I feel like that component of it too is like, you need almost a call to action at the end of this gram. So you need to build that direct response component into the grams themselves, not to get too in the weeds, but I feel like let's have lunch on Tuesday. It's like they have to have the ability to like say that right then and set that up. So that's just something to think about.
Yeah, time, place, restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they have the ability to be like, no, but I can do it Wednesday, something like that. It makes me think of, we talked about in one of our earliest episodes, we talked about Suits, right? And how they always seem to be able to wow customers by anticipating their needs,
Yep.
right? They're always 2 or 3 steps ahead by anticipating what that person wants. And the person on the other side of that feels so seen and so validated as a person that they knew to do these things in advance. And I think that's, you send a gram and it just feels like that special extra touch that makes the person on the other side of it feel special and unique and different. Because now they just had, a llama go through the entire office.
Hmm.
They're not embarrassed. They're entertained. I don't like the word entertainment for the name, but that is ultimately, there is a level of entertainment in that they can't ignore it, and they're going to, that smile they're getting on their face gets transferred to you, the business person.
Yeah.
Even though you're not the one dressed up, like maybe it would be a little silly for a CEO of a company to go in as Marilyn Monroe himself.
Hmm.
Okay, you don't have to do that. You can hire somebody to be Marilyn Monroe, and that joy and that fun and that entertainment gets just placed onto you as the business owner, and you get to ride that wave of goodwill.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the education component, um, it's already built in culturally. It's built into our society to really know what we like as far as media goes. Like, we like comedy, we like things that make us feel good or are attractive to us. And I feel like all you really have to do is point to really big examples of that. Like, why does everybody like Super Bowl commercials so much? It's like, that comedy works. That these things work for the businesses and the brands that can spend millions of dollars on a Super Bowl ad placement. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that same kind of humor, that same kind of entertainment for your local business for, I'm going to raise our price too, for only $500. It's like, we're not doing birthday grams for kids. We're doing like C-suite, corporate invasion or whatever we're calling it. We're getting in there. So we need to charge accordingly. I think that the value is there, and the education component, although there would be a massive component, I don't think it's going to be hard because people already know. They know what they like. They know what they enjoy. You just have to remind them. It's like, look, this is what you like. Just like when you tell them how to make better social media posts. It's like, when you're scrolling through Facebook what you like, and
Mhm.
you need to emulate that, but for your business. It's not a super big jump if they actually use social media already. It's harder if you're trying to train somebody that doesn't watch movies, doesn't watch TV, doesn't consume social media. It's a bigger lift to get them to the point they get it. But yeah, I think we'll be able to educate the market pretty easily, and we're going to sell a ton of these.
Yeah, and we can do a couple of things here. We can add some chunky mail into it. We could do a lead up system for them.
Sure.
Well, send the coconut, send the things, and then like step 6 in the process is send the gram,
Mm.
right? And then what we can also do is, so in chunky mail, there are different, and for anybody listening that wants to learn more about chunky mail and thinks that sounds really interesting, there is a book, Outrageous Advertising. I think it's on the video. My thumb is pointing to it right there. It's that red book right there. Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Effective, I think it
Mm.
is. I don't even know what side of me it's on. I'm so backwards. Yeah, there it is. Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Effective. And Bill Glazer writes chapters in that, but he also has guest authors in that book as well, and they're sharing some of the outrageous campaigns that they've done with their in their business. And what you'll find is there's certain campaigns that people do over and over. So there's the handwritten letter. So you make it look like it was handwritten on legal pad with words crossed out, a coffee stain in the corner, and you create this handwritten letter, and you make 1,000,000 copies of it, and you send it out to your full 1,000,000 subscribers, right? You also have the wallet mailer, which has like a fake dollar looking coupon in it. So it looks like a little leather wallet all folded up. They open it up, they pull out the dollar coupon, and that enables them to get an XYZ, right? So there are different themes And along with that comes copy that is connected to that particular chunky mail. So with the wallet, there's text that almost everybody uses the same text. There's also the dollar bill letter, which was a Gary Halbert invention. And it all starts, I'm sending you this dollar bill because. So what we can actually do with these grams is we can pre-create these different packaged marketing funny type thing, not funny, connection. So the reason I'm sending you this dollar bill, there's one, like if you send the coconut, you could say something like, I think you're nuts for not calling me back. Like that
Yeah.
might be a little bit, but you make a connection to the coconut, right?
Yes.
So we can actually make a connection to the Marilyn Monroe. We can make a connection to the alpaca. We can make a connection to a stripper, I'm sure. But that they walk in with almost a canned message that that particular type of character always takes
Yes.
to those kinds of clients, and it makes the connection between it being Marilyn Monroe and a sales message.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you find, I don't know enough about Marilyn Monroe to make the connection,
Well,
but
yeah. So I was thinking the reason I laughed so loud there was that I was thinking about how you would lead up to an alpaca, and it was like, a brush is your chunky mailer. Like here's a brush that you're going to use to brush the alpaca. And I was like, then you said there's definitely a connection we can make to stripper, and I was like, underwear, like one high heel, and she's going to come and like get her outfit back. Like I don't. I was like, no, too far, too far.
she shows up
But
in her outfit. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
funny.
there are definitely fun lead ups. It's like, hey, you could do like a literal countdown. Like there's something exciting is happening on Friday this week. You got to be careful not to get the FBI involved because who knows. Got to be careful. Be clear about your message. We'll have to be clear about our message and what's coming. But I agree with you. So I think that we're almost like tapping into that thing that we've talked about before, where I don't know if it was on the podcast or not because we talk so much, but culture and technology will swing so far one way, and there will be a corresponding like pull the other direction. So it feels like we're making almost like a marketing agency that's like fighting back against this swing toward everything digital, right?
Everything digital,
Everything.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think that that's a powerful idea in and of itself. Like there is power in bucking the trend and doing something different in marketing in general. And I think that's one of the things that we're tapping into with this business for sure.
And one of the things that digital marketing has done is it has left the physical marketing, like direct mail and even ads, direct mail ads in like magazines and newspapers where they do still
Mhm.
exist. And even stuff like this, it's left an open playing field.
Yep.
The fact that print newsletters work so well, and everybody took that idea, okay, we're just not going to print it. We're going to send it out in an email as an attached PDF. Nobody's looking at, guys. Nobody is looking at your attached PDF.
Nope.
And too many businesses want to be cheap and easy instead of investing a little bit and being more effective. And I
Yep.
think that's what the digital age has really brought, that, oh, I can do this on my own. Facebook is free. I can send an email. It doesn't really cost me any money other than, my email service provider or whatever they're called,
Yep.
autoresponder. I can do it the cheap and easy way, but that's also the less effective. Not saying that, yes, Facebook is effective, but even then you have to put in the time to learn how to do it properly.
Correctly. Yeah.
So even digital, there's still wide open spaces because nobody's doing it correctly. Like
Yep.
I do not feel like it's an exaggeration to say that 95% of local businesses are doing Facebook wrong.
100%. Yeah.
I think that
100% that it's 95%.
and I may be lowballing there. I
Yeah.
know it's not 100%, but it's definitely
Well, I mean,
100. business owners in a room, how many of them are actually getting it right?
Yeah.
But then you have this entire medium that was the backbone. I mean, Gary Halbert built a fortune off of direct mail.
Mm.
And because it costs a stamp, and because it takes some testing, and because there's some investment involved on the side of the business owner, nobody wants to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now junk mail, like we don't get nearly as much junk mail as we used to. All of it's like credit card offers
Yep.
and debt consolidation, because we've got some a balance on one of our credit cards. So all of it is that. There's nothing interesting coming at all.
Nope.
It's wide open, and there sure as heck isn't anybody sending a gram
Mm.
to get my. It's obviously not to get my attention, but like CEOs are not getting those offers at all,
Nope.
and definitely not in interesting ways.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, and I love this niche, and I love this business. I knew this was going to be fun.
So how do we market this thing?
I think
love
there's
so
a
much.
built-in marketing. Yeah, this is where we need to go now. So I think that there's a built-in marketing strategy that we're talking about. This whole episode, we've been talking about ways to stand out where everyone else is doing things the same way that they've been doing them forever. The other huge opportunity is networking. Everybody goes to the networking event and they do their elevator pitch and they hand the card and they follow up maybe a couple times. I've never seen Marilyn Monroe at a networking event. And if I did, I would be like, I don't know what you're doing, but I would like to be a part of it.
Yes.
So we're going to send Marilyn Monroe's. We're going to send somebody on a horse.
I've seen a single llama at any of these networking
A
events.
single llama. I want my money back.
Even if you don't bring a llama, but if you stand up and say, my business is I help you close high ticket clients by sending a llama to their office.
That's
like,
such a killer.
Who's not like, and the people who aren't interested are the ones that will never have the guts to do it in the first place.
Yeah, you don't want to work with them anyway. Yep.
And the people that have the guts are like, tell me more about this llama.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? And you could do it. So we're talking a lot of like big time corporation, but I'm thinking down here, Southwest Florida, because it makes me start thinking about the networking group I was in.
Mm-hmm.
You have the AC repair company trying to get into apartment complexes and condo associations and homeowners associations and trying to catch attention there. And I don't know, find out when the homeowners association meeting is and send a freaking
llama. Yes,
send the
that's
llama.
such a good idea.
Send the llama. It feels like a mobster that's like we're gonna send in like Johnny Tomatoes to close the deal. You know what I mean? Like we got the closer. We're gonna send in the closer. The llama is the closer.
Yep, I love that, and I think that's a good commercial. Like the llama is the closer, the fixer llama. I feel like there's, you could put a QR code or a sign on the llama and walk it through downtown or something. Or there's so many opportunities there for that, for like just crazy ideas, because the business itself is a little bit ridiculous. Like there's so many ridiculous marketing ideas that are in there. So we're going to go to our networking groups and we're going to be different and interesting because number one, our business is different and interesting. Number two, if they'll let us, we're going to bring a llama or something. We're going to bring something
we can get our hands on and that we're legally allowed to take into the building.
Correct. Yeah. Well, we got to be mindful of allergies and things like that. But we'll carry EpiPens just in case. It'll be fine. So cool. So that's how we're gonna that's gonna be like the main marketing strategy, I think. I don't know if we're gonna need I know that like we're talking, this is like a marketing podcast, we're talking about a lot of different ideas. So I guess maybe like a list building campaign of some sort. I do like QR codes. I like the thought of putting a QR code on a llama. You got any other like list building strategies?
Cool. You could shave that into the llama.
Yeah.
Like if you could shave it just right, that if you take a picture of the shaved patch, with the QR code,
that's a great idea.
So difficult to maintain, but it'd be so fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen people do like where they shave out a patch of it and they like spray paint a number to keep track of them or whatever. I feel like I feel like you could figure it out.
Yeah. I think that would be great. All right, list building and all of that. My thought, number one, every llamagram, we're just going to go with llamas for now. Llamas or Marilyn Monroe. Every gram has two people that go. There's the person, and then there's
Handler.
the handler that's recording.
Yep.
Right, we need to have a level of recording, and maybe we're not recording the entire pitch, but we're recording them walking through the office.
Yep.
And then maybe, like, how cool would it to just like have Marilyn Monroe walking through the office and then going into the CEO's office and closing the door behind
Oh, jeez.
That's so good. That's so good.
That's good.
And so you can have these videos and recordings of just the llama out in public, even llama out in public, Marilyn Monroe out in public at maybe like Rotary events and networking events and that sort of thing. So we can definitely do a social media angle to that.
Oh, for sure.
And we can, what I want to do is I want to make the social media page for this Ogram so good that CEOs are dying for somebody to send them a llama.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's aware of it, and they're all just waiting to see if they're the one chosen that somebody chooses to send a llama or a Marilyn Monroe to them.
That's a great idea. Yep.
And if we're going to charge $500, maybe we charge more for exclusivity. We will only send 1 gram to this CEO about this sort of thing.
Huh.
So the competitors can't buy a gram as well.
That's going to be a pricey offer. Yeah.
You get exclusivity to send a gram to the CEO, and we will never. Now, if that CEO steps down, another one goes up. We got somebody new because it's personal relationships. Like, you'd have to have rules there. But you can charge extra for that exclusivity, and then they know that CEO isn't getting bombarded with grams.
With llamas, yeah. Llama in there every other weekend or every other Friday, yeah. That's a great idea. I love how much sophistication is coming out of this ridiculous business. It's like we have a high ticket offer. Like, we got everything. No, that's great. I like the idea of having the social media clout and, like, having the group of CEOs be like, "Did you get a llama? Did you get a llama?" I think that's really great. There's like a network effect there, and I'm thinking. The thing that keeps popping up for me is all the headlines, like the not just the headlines, like news headlines, but email headlines. There's so much content there, like how this llama made this company $100,000, right? If it like landed, oh my god, it's like how to use a llama to land your next client.
How a one-eyed llama with alopecia closed a
closes $1 million deal. Yeah, that's so great. Like, there's built-in showmanship, like the business is showmanship, and there's built-in comedy, and I feel like that's what makes a fun business. I think it's like the fun is built in to the offer. So I'm excited about this. Are we doing just llamas and Marilyn Monroe? You got any other fun gram ideas there?
I don't know. I've never thought about it before.
You could do like a pirate gram, and you could have a macaw.
Get a macaw and do the pirate. I did think pirate.
Okay.
So we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, they could like sword fight through the office. That'd be cool.
I like even like a dog that can hold the gram in its mouth and it goes in and everybody loves dogs. If a cute little dog with big droopy eyes comes in and hands me something, I'm
in. Yeah,
that would be fantastic. So yeah, you could do dogs.
I saw a gender reveal video that circulated that went viral. That was 2 like WWE style wrestlers.
That was really good.
In pink and blue, really, and like I feel like there's something you could do there too. I don't know.
We could definitely do wrestlers in general. Just sending a wrestler to be like Macho Man Randy Savage, like
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I like that. So you got to start thinking. So I was thinking it's samba dancers, right? That you had at the like. that would be very eye-catching and different. So I thought that
Hmm.
was a good segue from the post you made in the group today
Yeah,
about
it was
doing
really
something
cool.
different.
It was a really cool event. They hired a group. I don't remember the name of the group. I'll put it. We'll put it in the description or something so we can give them a shout out. Interesting business. They have samba dancers. They have one called the strolling champagne skirt, and it's like literally a skirt that holds 150 champagne glasses, and this lady wears it and walks around, and you like take your champagne from the skirt, and it's not like weird. It's like cover, you know what I mean. It's like it's just a flashy thing, and then they have you can just hire models and like a lot of different things. But the samba dancers just were like life of the party, trying to get people up off their chairs to dance, and the drummers, and they had music playing, and like if that walked into an office, like everybody would stop and turn and look, and like they would have to come out and see what was going on. The CEO would have to come out and get whatever message they were relaying for sure. So
Yeah, and I know it must have been impactful because you've told me like 3 times, like I was at this party and there were samba dancers.
oh,
So
I mean,
like it definitely made an impact. You've done a lot of different jobs where you haven't told me what even the job, like I don't know what job you go on, but I know you went on that one and I've seen several different pictures and you've been like they had samba dancers
well, it's
there.
like that. It's the showmanship we talk about, right? It's like
Yeah.
I love businesses where that's built in, and like that's what this is. That's what we're talking about. It's like it is showmanship. You have to have people that have a little bit of that showmanship, or else they're not gonna do it right. They're not gonna deliver the message right. So that is fun for me. I like people like that. Even
Mhm.
though I'm more of an introvert, like I like being around people, but I get tired pretty quick and I need to recharge. People, I love being around people like that. It's like what I wish I had. I wish I had a little more of that, whatever that
Mhm.
is. So yeah, that's why I think this is a fun business. And samba, okay, we got samba, Marilyn Monroe, dogs, llamas, mini horses. I think
Pirate,
pirates,
pirates,
wrestlers. We got a lot. We
wrestlers.
covered all of our bases, I think, on the gram side.
I don't think we covered all of the bases
No.
by a long shot. And that's kind of the beauty of it. And you could release new packages.
Hmm.
Like if you've got somebody that dresses up as Marilyn Monroe, my guess is they can dress up as other things as well. And so if you create a new hook to a specific sales message that we're going to create around a certain character, you can do it all the time. You can add new, just tell them, hey, go get a XYZ dress, we're going to be launching this in the next couple of weeks and we expect to have X amount of people sign up for this new different kind of gram that we're doing.
Yep.
So I mean you can do mascot type things, like
Mm.
I mean you could definitely send furries in there
Sure.
like that.
Princesses, Disney princesses.
Princesses.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Disney
there's
villains,
yeah,
which would be
Disney
even more
villains.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. Good idea. There's an opportunity to even offer like with that high-end exclusivity deal, you can offer like custom packages where it's like, we don't know what this person likes, but if you do, tell us what kind of gram they would want. And for it
Right.
like the most money, we'll make a custom gram for them.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunity there to expand for sure.
And you were talking about the different price points. So there's good, better, best pricing,
Hmm.
and so good, better, best in this situation can be good is we literally do the video thing, even though it's not a celebrity. If they're dressed up like Marilyn Monroe and look like a celebrity, and they're doing the message over video, that could be a lower price point.
Hmm.
Then you have the straight up, just send Marilyn Monroe with this packaged pitch that we've put together.
Yep. We'll even
Send
write it
her,
for you.
yeah, yeah, we'll write the whole thing for you. Send her in. That's another level. And then you could do custom, where we customize everything for you. We customize, maybe they like baseball and we have them dress up as, I don't know who plays
I don't know
baseball.
anything about baseball.
Is that a baseball player? I think
Barry
it is.
Bonds.
Barry Bonds. Yeah, that's old school. Um, does he still play baseball? I know nothing about baseball.
I don't either.
Uh, it is not a sport that I care for at all.
It's America's pastime, Allie.
Um,
I'm gonna take a
closest I get,
screenshot of that.
closest I get is basketball. That's like the closest I can be like into sports.
Sure.
Beyond that, I don't know. I don't know what anything is, and I know all my basketball stats are from like 1993.
Probably not applicable. Yeah.
All about Mark Price and Jordan at the time, and what's his face, the other people. And
So knowledgeable.
I know. So now, but anyhow, if you know that they like a certain sports team, you could do something that's kind of like, so that would be the highest level. And then exclusivity is an extra perk you can add on to either one of them as far as like territory exclusivity.
Sure.
That CEO is your CEO, and you're the only one who gets to do it.
Yep.
And then we can even do follow-up packages afterwards. Let's say the CEO doesn't. So we could do a pre-package that's sending chunky mail, and that may get you a call. So you may not even need the gram,
Yep.
right? Unless we then switch it into a thank you.
Yeah.
So we could go from hey, have lunch with me to thank you so much, I'm really excited to work with you, sort of thing. So we could adjust that.
Yeah, you don't want to lose the end of that sale. Yeah. Just transition.
And that's the big wow, right? We could do that too. We could do it as thank yous. So it doesn't always have to be a pitch. It could simply be a thank you.
Yep.
It could be the samba dancer with all the champagne glasses walking around the office as a thank you.
Yeah, thank you for a closed deal kind of thing or whatever. Yeah.
And you know what's ridiculous? Here's what's ridiculous. We're going over the top, right? What is ridiculous is when you close a big sale with somebody. We have in Marketing Power Hour, we have a caterer that does charcuterie boards.
Sure.
You could just send a charcuterie board. The whole point here is nobody's doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's doing anything. Or if they are, they're doing the bare minimum so that it doesn't cost them any money. And they're not investing in that relationship, and they're not wowing even somebody they've already closed.
Yep.
They're not wowing them in order to get referrals and to be introduced to people and to get invited places where you're going to be exposed to more of your perfect client.
Yep.
A freaking charcuterie board can do that.
Yeah, I did that this year. That I got them from Dana. Yeah. It's great. And I think that that's a really great way to take it, is like an appreciation thing as well. It opens up a whole other side of this, and it's almost an easier sell, right? It's like going out on a limb and doing what could be perceived as a risk by a business, even though it's it's not really that big of a deal, is a harder sell. It's a harder lift on the education side. But a thank you, like an extravagant thank you, people will do that for themselves too. Like they feel nice about giving somebody a gift, right? All purchasing decisions are emotional, and most people lean into the thing that makes them feel good. So we can come at it from that angle as well. It's like, do you want your client to think that you're, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
cool.
it's just giving me another idea.
Cool.
Because I love the thank you angle. I think the thank you angle is fantastic. And also the employee appreciation angle. So you talked about the pony at the birthday party, bringing the pony to the birthday party. And it's not just like, hey, here's a pony, happy birthday and goodbye. It's pictures, and the kids get to pet the pony and feed the pony carrots.
Yep.
So what is the adult equivalent of that? Like maybe a pony, like a lot of people like ponies. But I was thinking about like puppies, like setting aside ethical, just always having puppies on hand. But like let's set that aside.
Where are you getting these puppies from?
Where are we getting puppies?
Yeah.
But let's assume we always have puppies on hand. I saw a guy that had like this house. I saw this on TikTok. This guy lives with, it was at least 50 chihuahuas.
Wow.
But it was like a pack of puppies coming after him, right? They're all jumping on him, licking him, so excited to see him. So we could do this with small dogs.
Sure.
Not necessarily puppies. But just like, let's say it's employee appreciation. A company that you hire to bring in puppies.
Love it.
And you could send somebody puppies for a day. Send them to the office. And again, you got to like look at allergies and stuff like that. And that's why I kind of like the samba dancers. I love that idea. Like, what if they just 5 of them just burst into an office with a champagne skirt and they're playing music and they're dancing And then there may be one of them passing out a little thing that says, "Thank you from XYZ Corporation. We look forward to working with you
So
over the
great.
next year."
So great. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Yep.
how much better are those employees then going to treat that client?
Yeah, that's going to be their favorite client. And yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I love
That
that. It,
little
it
bit of
does so
investment
much.
on the back end can
Mm.
go a long way.
Yeah, and that's those internal versus external marketing objectives too, right? Like you do that for your own company, you do that as a thank you to a company that you've closed business with, and it feeds two different sides of it. And then you have like the sales, the outreach side. It's like that's your external marketing objective, getting new
Mhm.
business, and then internal is keeping your existing clients happy and your employees happy. So yeah,
Yep.
it ticks all of the marketing
Yep.
boxes.
Yep. And that's where you can have like special. So let's say we go with puppies
Mm-hmm.
and we know somebody who just had, like, we don't, but let's pretend we do.
Okay.
The We know somebody that's got a litter of like golden retriever puppies, and they're looking to bring them out into the world and socialize them. We just hire them to socialize the puppies
Yep.
with each of these different places. Again, I'm not sure how it would actually work. But then that's like a 1 month offer,
Mm.
because the puppies are only puppies for so long.
Yep.
So then that pushes the people that are on your list, which we haven't really talked about list building, how we would actually build this list.
Mm.
I know how I would do it, but it pushes them to it pushes them
It kicks them
to
off the fence.
yes, thank you. It kicks them off the fence, so they're like, yeah, let's have a puppy party. We can do a puppy party this month, and they're only offering 4 puppy parties,
Yep.
so let's do a puppy party.
Puppy Party is a great marketing message, like a great headline too. I did that for a client. I reused it. Right, it's like Pug Party. You know, you do the different breeds, you do the different occasions. It's like Christmas Puppy Party. Like it just is two of the most fun words together. It's like Puppy Party. You instantly know what it is, even if you don't. It's like, oh, there's going to be puppies and it's going to be fun. So yeah, I love that.
So I'm going to say that I was wrong, because I was.
Uh
I was wrong. Um, Speaking of puppies,
oh.
I was wrong. What this actually is not a grand business for getting business. What this is, which it can be, but this is a business entertainment agency
Hmm.
that a business calls upon that has different packages. This is something you could send to the CEO of a company. So for well, what do I want to call them? The decision maker of
Yep.
a company, right? Here's packages that you can send to a decision maker to send your message in an entertaining way. This is packages that you can do for your own employees, and this is packages you can send as a thank you. And it's just all this fun circusy type stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we can even go into circus, right? So I was just at a business end of the year Christmas party business luncheon where they had a magician, and
Nice.
he was very funny. Um, and I don't like magicians. I'm really funny about live entertainment like that. I don't want to be called on. I don't want the spotlight on me. Like, I literally got up to go to the bathroom when he came around to our table. I'm like, nope, not going to be sitting here.
I'm out.
But that being said, he was really, really good. He was very, very funny, and it was a great way to bring some entertainment to the group. But the guy who was running the lunch had to know where to find him, right? He had to have seen him somewhere else and found him and booked him and all of that. I'm almost seeing like this agency that has packages they can create around talent that's in the area
Yeah.
that can, because I think one of my concerns with just doing the icebreaker stuff, CEOs, is
You're going to run out.
you're going to run out. Yeah, especially if people do exclusivity, you're going to run out, and it's going to eventually not have as much of a punch
Sure.
anymore.
Yep.
Because it's going to be a novelty at first, but then it's going to wear off. But
Yep.
puppy parties to celebrate, a great year, or just as a morale booster to be able to connect with the business and open up and look at their catalog and say, I'm going to order a magician, or I'm going to order the Samba Girls,
Yep.
or whatever it is. And we're going to have them come in and just almost flash mob the office.
Yeah.
And get everybody talking.
Yeah, I love that. I think that as this idea kind of expands, that's one of the fun parts, one of the many fun parts about this podcast is that it develops into this crazy thing that neither of us thought it could be from like when we started.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's like an entertainment agency. You don't want to, but entertainment's not the right word, right? It's like it is entertainment, but there has to be something more fun that you can call it. I'll workshop that. I'll put it through ChatGPT and make some ideas. But yeah, I love that, and it's much more sustainable now that we're offering entertainment for different use cases within a business, and for outreach, internal. I love all that. You said a minute ago, I know how I would build the list. Expand
Yes.
on that.
I would just do it's businesses. So I would start chunky mail directly to businesses and get
Yeah,
them.
use your own marketing strategy that you're selling to get
Yeah, I
clients.
mean, there are already lists of businesses out there. In my perfect world with the right budget, if I was B2B, so we're talking about a local business that's B2B, right? So if I were B2B, I had the budget, I would get the list of every single business that matches the category that I'm looking at. I would get the list of every single one of them and just start sending them a newsletter. Like that's my ultimate. Like if I were to stay here in Florida and do a mastermind and marketing workshops and seminars and things like that, and I had the budget, I would just get everybody's mailing address. And
Mm.
eventually you'll start to thin that out and you'll get returns and whatever, and it will shrink down. And you end up like if you're dripping on them over and over and over and over and over again, um, eventually people can't ignore you anymore. And at least they know about you to the extent that now they're going to see you on Facebook too. And they're getting the stuff in the mail. And their employees are talking about how somebody else had this done at their place.
Yep.
So like, I feel like if you saturate the market with your information that thoroughly, that's not an email list. Although I think you can get emails too. You can buy business email lists, right?
100%. Yeah.
I've not done it B2B locally like that, other than like what we've talked about before.
Yeah, I think the quality there, purchasing emails locally can be a little hard because, the emails that I've purchased before are generally from like scrapable databases. Maybe they have to, that niche has to do a certification where they list their email, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
A lot of local businesses don't have to do that. They don't have that kind of
Right.
database. So,
Yeah, and I think definitely looking at like I would not prioritize. Yeah, if you have people, let's say they're car detailing, right?
mhm.
Some people have gone through certifications for that, some people have not. So I would definitely grab the ones that have, because those are people that are willing to invest in their business.
Yep.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you've got some criteria there. But then I would just hit them with postcards of puppies, and like a real picture of a puppy party on a postcard, and talk to them about puppy parties and how they're morale boosters. And I'd send newsletters about how all the great and you could do postcard newsletters, right? So I don't know, maybe just it would be postcard newsletters for that particular list.
Yeah.
um you can send them feathers from the samba dancers,
Yeah.
right? Just send big white feathers and have a sales letter attached to that. There's all kinds of things you could do with chunky mail. And then if you know that there's a big fish out there that you're like, man, if we could get this person, if we could get the hospital on board, right? All the different departments could hire this out for different things on different days, and it would just make the hospital a more fun place to work. And especially, after we've been through everything we've been through the last couple of years, the way to reward their employees, I would send, a Marilyn Monroe, or maybe not a llama to the hospital, but like a Marilyn Monroe or a samba dancer or something like that,
Yeah.
to the decision maker there, just to say, hey, see how fun this is. Let's do this for your employees.
Mm. Yep.
Let's do this for the different departments. Let's, and
Yeah,
and
there's a
find
way.
a way.
Yeah, there's a world in which you could get into the hospital too by doing like a PR campaign where you do superheroes for the kids. Like if there's kids in the
Yeah.
hospital,
Oh, that's so good.
that'd probably be a good way to get your foot in the
But
door
that's
there.
the same thing. It's like the business is providing a level of entertainment. So
Hmm.
that could be a whole nother branch here is entertainment to your customers.
Yeah. Hmm.
And not the CEO, but just your customers in general. How
Yep.
can you run a fun event at your place of work? Even if you're B2C, you have walk-ins. I know that Dan Cricks, I talked about him earlier. He had a uh, auto repair is the word I was looking for, auto repair business. And they had a customer appreciation event where they brought a masseuse in. So the customer comes in, and while their car is getting worked on, they're also getting a massage.
Yep. Hmm.
So it's again making these ideas readily available to the customer or to the business owner, that they see, oh, these are things I can do, and kind of giving them an event in a package for
Yep.
either their something short, not like a full blown like event planning sort of thing.
Yeah, like an easy foot in the door kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Bring
Yep.
bring a massage chair in, and we can do chair massages.
Yeah,
So
I think we have somebody in the Marketing Ping Pong Facebook group that does princess events.
yes,
She does like Elsa and
yep,
other princesses. So it's like the idea exists. It's not like a completely novel idea, but I do think that the angle of entertainment specifically for businesses, I haven't seen that myself. It might be out there, but I love that. I love taking a concept that already exists and applying it to a different niche is always a good strategy for starting a business, for marketing your business. Like finding marketing strategies in another niche that work there and applying it to your business is always a good way to go.
yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
if all
love it.
we're gonna do is happy birthday grams, like then at that point it's either come up with the craziest happy birthday gram, which is always going to be subjective, right? Of what one person thinks would be the coolest thing to get on the planet versus somebody else. You know,
Yep.
I might like the pirate and you might like the samba dancers,
Mhm.
right? So coming up with the craziest one, I don't think necessarily sets you apart from everybody else. Your marketing can definitely, right? You could definitely set apart with the marketing. And I still think that, you know, there's a business there to be doing birthday grams and how to market birthday grams and that whole thing. Um, but if you just take what everybody's already doing and apply it to a completely different industry, that's where innovation happens.
Yep.
And I know that there are companies that sell chunk email campaigns, or there used to be, especially back in the Dan Kennedy heyday. They would come and they would set up, and it was the best. It was the best booth. Like, this is the lesson, guys. This is the lesson. Like, as we're what I love about this episode is there's so many lessons woven in on top of the main lesson that we're doing, because they had the chunky mail booth, and so you go to a conference, they have all the booths there. You go to a business marketing conference, how boring is every single freaking booth at the conference?
Yep.
Like, it will help you get close more sales, like it's so boring. But you go to the chunky mail booth and everybody's crowded around the chunky mail booth. Unless another booth has a celebrity or even a celebrity marketer, chunky mail booth was the only one that had a crowd because it was visual, it was interesting, it was something tactile, we could touch it, and none of the other booths provided that. And so there at least were, probably still are, chunky mail businesses that are providing this service on a national level. But to take that to a local level and actually teaching people how to entertain their employees and their customers and create mini events and create entertainment opportunities, I think that's huge. I still think the biggest challenge, the biggest challenge to the entire thing is, I think that there are business owners who will just, and of course there always will be, but what percentage of business owners can we break out of you have to be professional, you have to like follow the sales system that Jim Rohn put out there 45 years ago. Like,
Yep.
we have to show up and do the things that all of our competitors do, or else we're going to be laughed at, or else they're not going to take us seriously. They're going to think that we're not a professional company. Got to be professional. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge,
Yep.
is that feeling that, and I think on top of that, not understanding the investment
Sure.
of even investing in your employees or investing in a current customer who is bringing you in a lot of money, but you haven't shown appreciation to. All right, maybe you took them out to lunch 2 years ago, or maybe you golf together now and again, but like, how are you appreciating his employees or
Yep.
her employees?
Yep.
So I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And this is why I like the meta lesson that's in this episode. Is the hardest thing to do would be to teach those business owners how to think outside the box. And
Mm.
that's exactly why we're doing this podcast, is to help business owners start to think outside of the box of what is actually possible in their business.
Yeah, get them to throw the box away. Box does not exist.
There is no box.
There is no box. Yeah. I think that maybe one of the things that would work well here is something that's worked for me in the past. So I didn't do a ton of paid advertising this past year. I have my referral program that's been bringing in new business for my photo and video company. But the little paid advertising that I did do, I was selling a marketing service to these people, and we got to a sticking point similar to what you're talking about. It's like they weren't quite sure if the investment was worth it. They weren't quite sure if the way that I was going to do it was going to work. And all I had to do was say, like, hey, did you remember that ad that you clicked and you gave me your info, and then I reached out to you, and now we're having this conversation? They're like, yeah. I was like, well, that's literally what I would be doing for you. That's the service that I'm providing for you, but it's for you to get clients in your business. Like, I acquired you as a customer the same way that I'm proposing I get you customers. And I think we can do that same thing. We approach businesses to give this service to them in the same way that we're going to be providing the service to them to potentially get clients. And it's a lot easier to justify or to explain how something's going to work if you just show them that it works, right? It's like, we did it and we got you as a customer. Now we
Sure.
can use it to get you other customers. And case studies work to do the same thing, right? So like, if we have clients that, I'm sure we'll get some clients that do the customer appreciation side of it, or the employee appreciation side of it from our networking, and we'll just create videos and testimonials and case studies based on that we can show to people to help convince them to pull the trigger. I think that'll work well.
No, I totally agree. And I think that's why the video is important too. So people
Mm-hmm.
can see the looks on other people's faces in the audience or in the office, and not feel like, oh, they're going to think this is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to feel like they're being stupid, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely out of the ordinary. And as a species, we don't like sticking out. As much as we all want to think that we're very individualistic and we like our own thing, people are, at the end of the day, sheep, and they don't want to stand out. They don't want to be the first one to do something weird. So we definitely got to show them that there is positive reaction. And I also think I want to go back to what you were saying about the networking group, because now that we've fleshed this out a little bit more, I think that there are always opportunities, B2B type events, conferences, and things like that, even at a local level.
Yeah.
That you can, I'm just imagining our booth with samba dancers and a pirate and Marilyn Monroe
And a dog and a
just like
llama.
height, go low, go high, go wide, go bright, go
Mm-hmm.
lit up.
They have
And
stilt walkers, that samba company, by the way. Just like
yeah,
you said hi. I was like, yeah.
go even high. Well, I was thinking high, like the feathers on the top, but you
Yep.
could go even higher than that.
Yep.
And so everybody there's going to be like, what is that doing at this business conference?
Mm.
And then there's like a moment where they then just all kind of disperse and work the crowd,
Yep.
passing out information about what it is they do. But it's going to be so much more interesting than a boring old booth, and just the nature of the business makes it stand out.
Yeah, love
Which is
that.
what we're trying to do.
That's it. It's like showmanship incarnate. It's like that's the business, is to be flashy, to be out there, to be impossible to ignore. It's like that message that we tell people all the time and give different examples of, distilled down into a business. And I love that.
Yep. And everything from the elegant to the ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make it even more fun. Because if it's just the samba dancers, then it's like, okay, that's cool. But like, we need SpongeBob, or we need the pirate, we need the llama, we need a
We
mini
need Gumby.
pig.
We need all of it. Yep.
Yes, we need something. We need all the full range. I was going to say the crazy rat lady. I don't know, that would be me. That would be my part. I would come with like 26 rats on my shoulders.
Yeah,
And,
I'd be the snake guy. Yeah.
yeah, the snake guy, absolutely.
Like the 20-foot boa constrictor, just like, yeah, this is what we're doing today.
Just keep your snakes away from my rat lady get up.
Sure. Yep.
We don't need any accidents. So, okay, no, I love that. I think that's what a neat idea. I had never really thought about the grams like that. And I've never thought about, I almost wish we could go back and actually market a birthday gram one too.
Sure.
Just so we could
we'll do another fun one someday.
Well, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it further in the future of like, okay, let's go back and how would we do birthday grams? Because that's a B2C business.
Yep.
And what we did is a local B2B business, which, you know, a lot of people listening to this, if your clients are local, but they're businesses, or some of your clients are businesses. Like I said, with the air conditioning company, he does a lot of B2C, a lot of homeowners, but he also has businesses and associations and, businesses and associations. We'll keep it at that he's also trying to get in with.
Yeah, I think same thing for lawn care. I think, you can get into like bigger communities in a similar way. I feel like there's an opportunity for catering businesses there as well to become like a preferred vendor for a venue by doing something like that. It's like send one of your charcuterie boards and a Marilyn Monroe to deliver it, there's something there. It's just a good way to get your foot in the door. It's a good way to
oh my gosh, joint ventures, just creating joint ventures with other people and being able to approach them in a way that's not like, hey, I want all your customers, and because that could be, I don't really know you, and what are you saying? I don't know what it is. Are you trying to take my customers? I don't understand this. But just to break that ice, get the foot in the door, get a meeting scheduled that you can then, and it feels less confrontational at that point.
Yep.
It already feels like it's on a light note, and like we already like each other.
Yeah, love that. Yep. There's so many use cases. I feel like it's. I was thinking before we started this line of thinking, it's the chunkiest mail, right? So you have chunky mail. You could send a coconut, but then you could send a literal llama.
Live human beings.
That's my pitch for the new business name, is the chunkiest mail. Yeah.
I think that is going to be the thumbnail. Also, so you're going to be doing the thumbnail for this one. I think the chunkiest mail should be on there. I also want to be a samba dancer.
Samba dancer, chunkiest male. I'm going to be a llama, I think.
Okay.
I
think that'd be perfect. Great. I can already see it. It's perfect.
I'm in.
Awesome. I think that was fun. I think that was fun.
I know that was fun.
That was fun. I like that a lot. I think that's when we should start.
I think so too.
Already know people, and it's just easy-ish.
Well, it's easy because we're not fulfilling the service, right? So it's like subbing out to people, and like all we got to do is market it and make sure that they're showing up.
And then we franchise it. We don't even bother going national. We franchise it out to other people and allow them to use our pre-written scripts and our pre-written packages, and these are the types of whatever. And if you're a franchisee and you have a particular, let's say you have a mini pig, and we don't have a mini pig package. You got a person with a mini pig that comes in a little cowboy hat and normally does birthday stuff. As a franchisee, we will custom create packages for you for a fee or for maybe so many free ones a year or something like that, that you can
Yeah.
use with entertainment that's available to you in your local area.
Yes, I just had a thought, and this is, I know we're getting close to wrapping up, but I have a friend who has a pharmacy, and we've talked multiple times about how it's hard to get doctors' attention. It's hard to like get through the front desk person to somebody who, even if you got through, they're busy. They don't have time for you. They're seeing patient after patient after patient after patient, and I feel like this is one of those things that it works for very specific use cases like that. It's like they've only got 30 seconds to pay attention to your message. Most of the time, they're not going to pay attention. But if you can get them to stop, and like something like this, that's what it does. It forces you to stop and say, like, okay, what is going on? Why is Marilyn Monroe in my office right now?
Mm-hmm.
And get them to pay attention for just long enough that it's going to take to get the meeting, to get the lunch meeting. So that being
Right.
said, I'm going to bring that up for him. Bring this
Oh,
specific. He's
absolutely.
going to be our first client
Yes.
for this business. So
I think even for him, like I said, I think what we've done is over the top, which is fun. And I think it's fantastic. And I think over the top should always be the direction you try to go. But literally the bar is so low, he could literally send a charcuterie board
yep.
with a letter attached to it
Mm-hmm.
and to the staff and get the impact that he wants.
Yep.
It's just, you got to approach it differently. If you show up as a pharmaceutical rep, I know he has a pharmacy, which is a little bit different.
Yep.
But let's say it's a pharmaceutical rep. You show up as a pharmaceutical rep, they're going to treat you like a pharmaceutical rep.
Yep.
But if you send charcuterie boards, man, I'd go to the doctor. I'd find the doctor's office. I'd find 5 doctor's offices, and I would show up once a week, maybe with flowers,
Yep.
maybe with a charcuterie board, maybe with bagels, maybe like Dana has 3 or 4 different kinds of charcuterie boards. So just rotate through those
Yep.
until you are not annoying pest. You are welcome guest.
Yeah, you're a charcuterie guy.
and the people at the front reception area sees you. Oh, come in. You know what? Doc's got a few extra minutes today.
Yeah, let me go grab him. Yeah.
We're gonna put you in exam room 2. We're gonna set you over there.
And it's
And
not that that's not that expensive either. Like
no.
and he's at a point, not to keep calling my friend out, but he's at a point where he could go do this himself. He could do this himself with local doctors' offices, and he could be the guy. And what is it, like $100 for the smaller charcuterie board? If he did 4 of those, I feel like that's all it would take. Like 4 times showing up with food, so you're like best friends with everybody at the office, and the doctor's like, okay, what does this guy want? Obviously, he's going to take the time to meet.
And it's more than donuts. Like,
Yeah.
you could do donuts, but it's more than donuts. It has more thought to it. It's classier, especially the ones that they make.
Yeah.
It's classier. It feels upscale, and it feels like you actually care and pay attention. And
you make a point of it when you go in there too. It's like, hey, I'm the guy. I own the business. I'm not sending somebody to do this. Like, here, it's me. Here's a charcuterie board. Yeah, wait, tangent, but yeah, great idea. And I'm going to pitch that.
That's the lowest tier. We teach you how to do this yourself.
Yeah, we're consultants. Yeah. This really is a great business. I'm going to go make a landing page for it right now.
Okay, you do that. And I want the QR code tattooed somewhere on your body by the end of the week.
That's I found custom temporary tattoos. Allie, somebody needs to take my debit card from me. I cannot be trusted. I cannot be trusted. I ordered like 3 pages of these things. I'm gonna. We'll talk about it off air. I'm gonna do a commercial where I'm in a tattoo shop, and it's like, looks like he's actually tattooing it on my head, and it's going to be great. You'll see.
Oh no, I'm excited. No, I think that's good. That's out of the box. That's fun.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, this was fun. I definitely didn't see it coming, and I do like this business. I think that it is interesting and fun, and everybody should walk away from this thinking, 1, am I being that business owner that's so afraid and cradling their egg like a little baby, and so afraid to do anything in your business that you're never ever going to stand out, and you're going to just be like, are you so concerned with being a sheep? And I don't want to use sheep like a lot of people use sheep, but like Are you so concerned with blending in that you're not willing to do what it takes to get your business to stand out?
Yep.
If you're willing to stand out, if you're not willing to stand out, question that, right? Why am I not willing to stand out? And is my unwillingness to stand out helping to grow my business or inhibiting my business growth? If you are willing to stand out, then what can you do? What can you do? Hire Colin Mockery to say something on there. I don't know where people find grams. We don't have yellow pages anymore. I don't even know if that would have been a category. I don't know. Find somebody who does a gram. Join the Marketing Ping Pong group. If you are local to us, we know somebody who dresses up as princesses and mermaids. So join the Marketing Ping Pong group and hire that person to do something outrageous, something different.
We can't tell her about this episode because she's a marketer too. She's gonna start this business.
She's gonna take this idea and just.
We're never releasing this. Put it in the vault.
No, I love it. It would be fantastic if she did that, because then that would be one business. See, here's the thing. I don't care if other people start the businesses in my brain, as long as somebody starts the businesses in my brain.
Yep.
Right? Like, I don't want it to sit there and rot. I remember telling somebody once, like, all I want to do is like throw out business ideas for other people that they can run with it. And he's like, you don't want to do that because you're not getting a cut of everything. I'm like, I don't care to get a cut of everything. I just want to see my vision come true.
Yeah.
That's all. I just want to see my vision come true. And every business I work with, I have a vision for how they should be doing it and could be doing it. And it's never quite my vision at the end.
Yep.
So that's the dream, right? Is somebody that she watches this, she's like, got it. Because she knows people too, right? She knows people in that industry. Got it. Goes out and does it. Kills it. I would consider that a win.
Yeah. I'm on board. I agree. I did just listen to a different podcast where they had a lady on who has a holding company. And she's like, all I do is I have really great ideas. And then I have another person on my team who is in charge of finding the people to execute on those ideas. I don't even go find the people. Like, all I do is have the idea and the connections with the billionaires who agree that my idea is good, and they give me money, and then I give it to these people and they execute. And I was like, oh God, like that's
the dream.
The dream. And like that exists. So maybe we need to just like, that's what we need to do. Scrap everything, make friends with billionaires, and just do that.
That's been the nonprofit that I've been having rattling around in my head. That's almost exactly how I want to do this nonprofit.
Sure.
Like, I've got the ideas. I want other people to be experts on it and to implement it. I don't even want to be the one to find the people. I just want to have a person that knows how to find the people. And then I'm telling these people with the money back here, like, these are the things we're going to do. And especially in the case of this nonprofit, it's like, you're causing some harm. So we're going to help mitigate that harm by you. Like, you got to say it nicer than that. But generally that's the pitch, right? Like, this is how we mitigate some of this harm.
Sure.
So we make it better for everybody in this situation. And then all I have to do is come up with ideas. That would be that's the dream. That's the dream.
All right. We'll work on that one.
All right. Yes. Someday. All right. Thank you, Duncan. This was a ton of fun, and I can't wait to see what we do on the next call. I think you're bringing a boring business.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. It's gonna be a boring business that should not be boring, but they all are.
I think, yeah, but that's always, whenever we do a boring business, it's like, I don't really think this is a boring business. I think everybody has just made it boring.
Let me clarify. Bank, they're traditionally boring. Right? It's like, It's boring, although it shouldn't be boring. There's the opportunity there for it to be fun. I don't know of any fun banks. I don't know if they exist, right? So this is a business that should be fun. Inherently, they're like trying to do something fun and present something as fun, but most of them fail miserably. So that's where we're going to go next episode. Yeah.
That's your teaser, guys. You need to watch the next episode and catch up on all the previous episodes. I mean, don't just listen to us once, listen to us all the times. If we've got 22 episodes, listen to 22 episodes.
22 episodes? Oh my God.
No, we released 11 today.
Wow.
I think this will make 13.
Man.
This is lucky number 13, I
Lucky
think.
13. Nice.
Lucky 13.
It was a good one too.
But somebody will be listening to this at some point in time when there are 22 episodes.
That's correct.
In our catalog. So just listen to them all, because all of them are going to stretch your thinking. They're going to stretch your mind. And that's why we're doing this. Not so that we can start a grand business, although
maybe.
But so we're inspired too. Like it inspires me in my own business. It's already, I can see how I think about my businesses differently just from these episodes.
Yep.
But also to inspire you to start thinking, get rid of the box. There is no box. Start thinking differently about your business and your marketing. What would your business be like if you were having fun? What would it be like if you were outrageous? What would it be like if you bucked all the tradition and everything that everybody else is doing? What would it be like, and how much more fun would you have in your business as a whole? So
that's such a profound question. Like, what would your business be like if you were having fun? I'm writing that down.
I saw you writing it down. That's a good one. Thinking time. We need to do a whole episode on thinking time at some point in the future. But with that, we're going to close up this episode. Thank you, Duncan.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.